Hello, everybody, and welcome to the inaugural episode of Makers React, and it's an extension of Makers on Film. I am your host, Jamal Alexander, and this is,
I'm Alexander Pavlak.
and we are going to make our own reaction channel just like every other one you've seen on YouTube.
Yay!
And we kind of figured there was a perfect one for us to do.
So like everybody on YouTube, we're going to go ahead and do the Star Wars trailer 3.
Ooh. I'm the good guy. I'm the good guy.
It's not red, so it's considered not bad.
You just have to be individual.
Yes.
All right, so are you excited for the Star Wars coming up?
I am. I actually already got my tickets. They're already on sale.
Really?
So yeah, we I didn't even realize that my roommate comes home. She's all like, "Hey, I got tickets for Star Wars," and I'm like, "They're on sale." But apparently, this is a big deal.
Apparently, yeah.
That they go on sale like a month and a half prior to the movie coming out.
And as I think of it, me and a friend were like talking about doing a movie night with a bunch of like other people. And the more I think of it, like we're never going to get into a theater opening night now.
Probably not.
Those are probably all gone.
I would definitely try. Talk to the theaters. Maybe you'll get lucky.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. You might have to sit in like separate theaters. At least you'll be able to see it.
We can meet up afterwards and talk.
There you go.
And to be fair, I wasn't going to be doing a lot of talking while I was watching this either.
Exactly.
All right, so what do you know so far about the film?
I saw the new poster that came out a couple days ago, and Bodega, is that his name?
Yeah, Boyega.
Boyega. He has a lightsaber, so obviously he's the Jedi in training this time around.
Which is weird because, and that's sort of the thing about the film in itself. Like nobody knows anything is concrete for sure yet.
Yeah.
When I first saw him, I thought he was going to be their Han Solo.
That's what I was thinking too, but I think the woman is going to be the Han Solo.
Which I guess they were throwing red herrings, purposely just to throw us off. But you know what? I don't mind. I like a surprise.
Well, considering that when Lucas did Return of the Jedi, the original name was Revenge of the Jedi. Some of the theories is that he did that on purpose because he wanted to throw people off the trail of what the actual title was. Some of it was that he called it Revenge of the Jedi and then realized Jedi's don't take revenge, so he had to change it. But either way, maybe this poster is kind of a red herring. Maybe they're bringing it out, making it purposely wrong, so when it actually comes out, you don't get any spoilers. But I'm actually quite impressed with J.J. Abrams not allowing spoilers to come out, especially off a set. That must have been locked down pretty tight.
Yeah, I'm impressed anytime that happens with any big budget film.
Exactly.
So,
All right, you ready to watch this thing?
all right, let's get on.
Go here and hit play.
Who are you?
Lucy,
No one.
What was it desert?
Well, I think it's supposed to be Tatooine.
I'm ready to do one thing. I've got nothing to fight for. Nothing will stand in our way. I will finish what you started.
There are stories about what happened.
It's true. All of it. The dark side. The Jedi.
Whoa.
They're real.
The Force. It's calling to you.
Yeah, tickets now available. Even said there. All right, so there was something else that I didn't know about this prior to going into this. The bad guy Ren is he is obsessed with Darth Vader and his helmet, and you can actually see this in the trailer. The back of the helmet is made to resemble Darth Vader's helmet.
Um, this based on this trailer, I at the end I kind of thought, is that Luke? Is he Ren? Is he the bad guy? Because you don't get a whole lot of Carrie Fisher or Mark Hamill in that trailer.
No, you don't. You get a lot of Han Solo,
Yeah.
and he's obviously going to be a big part of this. But I don't know.
Because there's a scene where they're fighting in the snow-capped place, and the helmet's off, and it's just some long-haired person, probably not disfigured as Darth Vader was, fighting. And I'm like thinking, is it Luke?
Well, they haven't really given you a lot of what actors are playing what role, even at this point. So it could be the old switcheroo. It could be because Ren is part of a set of like knights, like Templar knights. That's where Ren comes from. It's I forget what the actual name is. It's not important. The important thing is that he has an obsession with Darth Vader, and that's why he's got the helmet. And I think that's why the original Graflex lightsaber is coming into play in this movie, because that was Anakin's lightsaber at Revenge of the Sith. So that's the one that Obi-Wan takes to, and then ends up giving to Luke Skywalker at the beginning of New Hope.
We were cheated by Episode 6, is what I got from this video too, because there was no happy ending according to that. It looks like the dark side is still very much organized military.
Well, it's the remnants of whatever's left over from Episode 6. It's the Emperor has been destroyed, Vader's been destroyed, the Death Star has been destroyed, but there's still a military force out there. So it's whatever military factions that are fighting against each other for dominance.
Right, but wasn't the last shot of Episode 6 basically them on whatever Ewok planet it was?
The forest moon of Endor.
Yeah, the forest moon of Endor, and they were all celebrating like as if they had just won, and it ends and like you feel like they're going to be better times from there on. It's like a happy ending.
Yeah.
Watching this and really watching Han, most of all, like he seems grizzled, like he's still been fighting for the last 30 years.
It does seem that way, and it does seem like there's a cliche in movies where you go, and they did this in South Park, and it was amazing when they went to go get Freddy Krueger. And they did this in Star Trek, actually, where you go get the hero, the guy who's supposed to save the day, the old expert, and he's in a log cabin away from everybody chopping wood.
Yeah.
I half expect them to find Solo doing this, that he is tried to retire and they're going to pull him back in, and he's a little shell-shocked from everything. And I have a feeling that probably what happened after Episode 6 is that, yes, there was some celebration because they destroyed the Death Star.
Again.
There was some internal struggle, and now somebody has rose to power, and now they're going after the old relics, the Graflex lightsaber of Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader's helmet. They're probably going to go after Luke Skywalker because, or even Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia, because they're direct descendants of him. So you can kind of see how a kidnapped Princess Leia might bring Han Solo into the mix. And you're right, we don't see a lot of Luke Skywalker, so maybe he is donning a helmet or something.
I'm glad to bring up the what they're doing during that, like getting the remnants and all that. It's a good trailer in that it doesn't give away like what the movie is about. Because like, what's the end game? Like you could pretty much get you could call the end of Age of Ultron from the trailers.
Yeah.
From this, I can't get anything.
No, like I said, they were very good at not letting any secrets go. It's like this and the Dark Knight trilogy were like the only two movies that I've never seen anything big come out of.
Yeah.
Like when they said that Ultron was going to be the bad guy, you know that story. you know the Batman story, but you didn't know how they were going to do it.
Yeah.
And with this one, you have your theories and you have your suspicions, but you don't know exactly what they're going to do. So I'm actually very excited about that you get to go into the movie with no preconceptions whatsoever.
Yeah, it's been quite a while to have that. I actually call that sensation the Karate Kid moment, where in the first Karate Kid, and when it all comes together, like 15 minutes before the end,
Yeah.
you're like blown away.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that in this film.
All right, yeah. Hopefully we'll see that. Now, the one problem I had with this is that this is the first time that either of us actually saw this, and mostly because I don't know who they think their demographic is, but for some reason this trailer was shown during Monday Night Football. And I'm not a big sports fan. I know you're a sports fan.
Yeah.
Mario, who also does Makers on Film with us, a podcast that you can check out at mof.ninja. I don't think he's a big sports fan. I don't think he'd have been watching Monday Night Football. I don't think a lot of people who are really into Star Wars would have been watching Monday Night Football. Now, I always had this thing that if I ever had if I had become a rich and famous director prior to this, the rich part specifically,
Yeah.
I would have come up with a fake trailer for Episode 7 and then put it on during the Super Bowl and watched everybody bitch that it was on during the Super Bowl. Why wasn't it more nerd friendly like at a Comic Con or something?
You know what? I tend to think just nerds and jocks somewhere in the middle have, I don't know, found common ground and spawned.
Well, it is definitely a movie that everybody can enjoy, and I think they're doing this that you don't need to know very much of the backstory to be able to enjoy it. And whatever backstory you need, I'm sure they'll explain within the first 10 minutes of the movie.
I get that a little bit, but mostly I get that they're marketing nostalgia.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, showing so much of Han, like, is he not the character we most empathize with?
He's the character that we most want to be.
Yeah.
I think our empathy really goes to Luke Skywalker to some degrees, Princess Leia, because it is a story about kind of getting to know who your dad is, and for a lot of people, your dad can be very much an enigma. So I think that's really the core of the story, and that's who you empathize with. However,
everybody wanted to be Han.
When it comes to the personality archetype, Han Solo is the cooler one because he's the guy who doesn't care who his dad is, ultimately. So he's the stronger character, and he's the one that I think everybody wants to be more like. They want to have that kind of strength. But
I feel like every cool moment in the series, like aside from the pivotal "I am your father" and the hand chopping off scene, was written with Han in mind. Because he seems to get the best lines, like when Leia tells him she loves him, and he just looks back and goes, "I know."
Yeah. And it's a beautiful thing when they reverse that in Jedi too. That he says he loves her, and she's like, "Yeah, I know," and that's cool that that's their thing. But I think you're right for the most part that most of the cool lines and cool things are him, and he gets the love story too. That Luke, because he's a Jedi and goes on that path, doesn't get that opportunity.
Which I've always said that they shot the first movie with none of that written down. That Luke was supposed to be Leia's love interest, and then they figured out that Harrison Ford was the star, and then rewrote everything to make it so that Han was the love interest.
Yeah, which is very interesting and very cool that they did that. But Luke got some cool moments. He he anything to do with the lightsaber, the end battle, lightsaber battle between him and Darth Vader at the end of Jedi was pretty cool. And the moment where he burns his father's corpse and kind of accepts who he was, good, bad, and other. And
I wouldn't call that cool. I would call that powerful. I would call that pivotal.
All right, it's not cool, but it is very poignant.
It is one of the dramatic wise and plot wise and just emotionally, it is one of the most powerful moments in the franchise.
And I think you're absolutely right there. But I also think that Leia gets some cool moments, like when they rescue her and she's like, "Aren't you short for a stormtrooper?" She has that attitude, like, "I didn't really need you. I was just biding my time," kind of a thing. But since you're here, I'll let you rescue me. And then when she says that she knows that Han Solo loves her, and even their interplay in Hoth, I think she had some good moments there. But For the most part, you're absolutely right that Han does steal the show.
Yeah.
And after the first movie, they really realized that and let him do it. So yeah, like I'm hoping that when we go into this, that I don't think there's going to be as much Han Solo in this movie that the trailers are leading us to believe. I personally believe that it's going to be like Bryan Cranston in Godzilla, where
That's a little less than we want.
yeah, where we see a lot of him in the trailers, and you go to the movie because you're like, oh, Bryan Cranston, I loved him in Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And then spoiler, unfortunately, he gets killed off within.
Doesn't make it to half the movie.
No,
Does not make it to half the movie.
no, but it's and his son, who is supposed to be the hero, is very non-heroic, and
I'll go off on a tangent on that later because there's so much I could say about that character in that movie. But
well, save it for the show today.
yes, but as far as today's Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday.
Okay, so there's a show tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
I gotta go home and watch The Nurse. So.
I gotta watch The Nurse too.
Yeah.
Damn it, I gotta get some sleep too. You want? All right, we'll talk after.
Okay. But we should wrap this up because we're getting down to like 18 minutes here.
Okay. All right. So, trailer looks great. Gets a thumbs up from me.
Thumbs up for me. I love the fact that they don't tell you what the plot is to it, and that's a rarity in today's day and age.
Yeah, very much so. So, in this order, do these three things. Click the subscribe button, then click the like button, and then leave a comment.
And then number 4 is go get your tickets for Star Wars.
Go get your tickets for Star Wars.
You don't do it now.
You
You're
don't
gonna be
do it
waiting a
now.
week.
Yeah. See this right here?
I'm coming after you.
These work. These are like live action. We were cutting up like salami earlier with this. Okay.
What is this, Family Guy? Little cheese cutter?
Yeah, a little cheese cutter right there.
It's great on bread too.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks for joining us.
I didn't go through that.